Right, in this video I'd like to show you how to add agents line haul costs with some extras. We start in maintenance, then go to agents. You locate the agents that you're going to be working on. In this case we'll choose our New York agent. We double click on the agent, make sure all of the details on the first screen are set up. Now down here in the bottom left hand corner we select the currency that the agent will bill us in. In this case the agent will be billing us in US dollars. Now in these following boxes below here we have a high value shipment fee here of $90. This high value clearance fee kicks in at any shipments with a value of $100 and over, so you can manually set the threshold. The next box down, the $25 here, this is listed as a manifest bulk entry fee, so it could be per master airway bill or per manifest. Next box down is a bag handling fee, $15 if the agent charges you a per bag fee. And the last box down is the airport collection fee, or an airport arrival fee of $75. Once we've allocated those fees there, we can then go into destinations. We can add as many destinations as we like. We've just got New York and the USA, rest of the USA here. The next stage we need to do is allocate the delivery charges for those destinations. We'll show you New York first of all, so we'll create a tariff zone name. Can be any name we like. We'll just call this one New York, so it's quite meaningful. And the deliveries for this one we're going to say, for example, as £7 per delivery with no weight restrictions. So we'll say from 0 up to 999 we'll charge $7 per 999 kilos and save. Once we've created the prices against the weight matrix here, we now just have to attach the weight matrix to the correct destination. So we'll double click on the destination, and then in the tariff zone box we'll click on the drop down box there, select New York, and then just click save. So we've now allocated the zone New York to City New York. So that agent has now been set up with the correct delivery charges, and it's now set up with a high value clearance fee, manifest bulk entry fee, bag handling and airport collection. But in this example we do have additional charges that we have to allow for. So what we need to do is create a new agent, and we'll call this agent Terminal Agent 1. It's just a generic name. It can be any name, doesn't have to be anything relevant, but we'll just call it, set it up like this in this example. Now this agent, this is going to be a base agent, sort of a local agent to where you are. So you select your local currency where you are, and now we can add in some more extra charges that we need to allocate. So in this case we're going to say there is a €60 daily fee, let's call it, on this one. We have another charge of €30 per master airway bill, so we'll put the €30 charge in there. There's also a charge on exports of €5 per house airway bill, but this is only for high value shipments, so we'll put €5 in there, and in the threshold box we say what do we classify as high value. So anything above let's say €50 is high value. So this, what we're saying here is anything over €50 in value we will add a €5 charge to it. So we will save that, and this agent is called Terminal Agent 1. Now if we go to the airlines box, we select the airline that we're using for the line haul sector of this particular route, and in this example we're going to use Air France, and in here we can allocate the fuel surcharge. Let's say it's 74 cents per kilo. If you have other per kilo charges, you can put them in either wall risk or security fee. It doesn't really matter which one you use. These are just spaces for other per kilo charges, so you could put something in there like that, for example, if you had other security fees or other charges. So what we'll do, we'll save that now, and if we go to the flights, we can add our new flights as we've done here. We're using the AF022, so we can double click on this flight. So we'll set the flight schedule up accordingly. We can put our line haul rates in. In this example we charge €3.67 up to 100 kilos, and then €3.25 at plus 100. But now we're going to go to the other charges tab, and in here we're going to attach the extra charges that we've allocated to the Terminal Agent 1. So when I save this now, any charges that we have attached to Terminal Agent 1 will now be attached to this Air France flight. So every time this Air France flight is used, it will pick up the extra charges that we've put on Terminal Agent 1. If I just go back to the Terminal Agent 1 screen and just show you the extra charges, it is these extra charges in the bottom right hand corner. So all of these figures here will now be added to the AF022. Now if you have a second agent, if you have more charges to use, you can create another agent. For example, we could call this Terminal Agent 2, and if we wanted to, we could add more charges in here. So you may have sort of extra charges for export fees that you can add on. So if you just save that now, we've just put €50 in there. So now if you went back to your flights, and in here, if you wanted to, you could add the Terminal Agent 2 into here, and that would then add an extra €50 per flight onto that flight if necessary. So it's a little bit flexible, where you can add as many extra charges as required. Once you've added all of the necessary charges, click Save, and the next time you open a gateway for that destination, just show you what it looks like. Next time you open the gateway for JFK, we've already got the AF022 included in there. So if we go to Operations now and create new manifest and select the gateway of JFK, now it's already picked up the AF022 there. So all of the extra charges that we've attached to the agent, the New York delivery agent, and the flights, the AF022, will be included on this manifest, and that is how you add the extra charges to the manifest.